Hello, folks. Welcome to the Genuinely Interested podcast. My name is Roy Bensby, and I'm your host. And I want to explain a little bit about the podcast before we start the show this week. This podcast is an opportunity for me to speak with some of the most interesting people I know that I can find on the internet. So either with amazing talents or achievements or just unbelievable life stories or invaluable insights into areas that they have dedicated their lives to studying. I sit down with these amazing individuals from all across the world. Really, I've talked to people from Slovenia to the Czech Republic to Australia to countries in Africa and South America, really just all over the world. And I try to ask them the questions that will hopefully help you extract something valuable or learn something new or just get inspired by. And I do hope that you do get inspired by these talks with some sort of a call to action, maybe change something that you wanted to change for a while, or even just enjoy, detaching from the world for an hour and listening to some great conversations. So whatever it is that you get from this, I do hope that you extract something from it and enjoy the conversations. All these episodes are available on all the major podcast platforms, iTunes, Spotify, Google, and the rest of them. You can also find the episodes on my website, which is roybensv.com. You can find a lot of other information about me there as well, from photos to a little bit more insights into who I am, if you're interested. And, you can always go to social media. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me there. I'm pretty active on both those platforms, although the only ones I have. And I try to post regularly so you can stay up to date. And also be sure to put your email on the website. I shoot emails out with updates, news, any new current information that I have will be sent via those emails and social media platforms. So yeah, make sure you're in the loop. This week on the podcast, we have Adam Borics. Adam is a fighter originally from Hungary, but he's been down in Florida for the past 2 or 3 years, fighting out of Sanford MMA under Henry Hooft, and he's just got a squad of just absolute murderers and killers, some of the best fighters in the world trained from that camp. So he's in good hands there. He currently fights in the featherweight division in Bellator, and he's somewhere between a up and comer and one of the top prospects right now. He's just like He's on the rise. I think he could be a champion in Bellator. Now with COVID, things are a little bit more difficult. It's harder to book fights. It's harder to book events. So I don't know how frequently they're going to be putting on events. But if things get back to some normalcy, I could see him, having a strap around his waist maybe sometime next year, if things go according to plan. So, I was super happy that he came on the podcast. We chatted for a bit, talked about just his camp, his journey from Hungary coming to the US and adapting and changing his mindset and, what it felt like suffering his first loss. That's never easy. And then having the mental wherewithal to come back from that and to win a fight and to just make that switch in your mind. So the mental toughness is just as important as the physical toughness when it comes to fighting, probably even more in some respects. And you really get an insight into, when you talk to fighters, you get an insight into how tough they really are. Doesn't matter if it's COVID, doesn't matter if it's a broken leg, if it's whatever the ailment that they have or that they could potentially face. It's just fuck it. I have a goal and I'm going to achieve that goal. So you can't do anything but respect that. And I do respect that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode with Adam. All the necessary information's in the show notes. You can follow him on social media. And if you happen to speak Hungarian, he's got a YouTube channel. And yeah, you can enjoy all of his updates and all of his behind the scenes and the training vids that he puts out. You can check it out there. So without further ado, here is this week's guest, Adam Borics. Enjoy.
The Genuinely Interested Podcast.
Adam. How you doing?
Hey man, I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it. How you doing? How's sunny Florida?
Super hot now. Yeah, but I'm doing great. I'm happy because the gym is open, so it's really good.
So in Florida, they opened up the gyms?
Yeah.
Really? And do they have any restrictions, like you have to wear masks or only X amount of people are allowed or something?
Yeah, you have to wear a mask, but you
No
know,
one checks.
yeah.
But so wait, all the gyms, even like martial arts, all because I know here in New York, nothing's open. Like as far as
Really?
gyms, yeah, New York, nothing's open, and they were talking about starting to open up like the actual gym. So not like yoga studios or martial arts places. Just places where I guess there's like a machine that you can go and train on, and then maybe they limit the amount of people that can go, or maybe they're going to put like kind of barriers, like plastic barriers between the machines. I'm not sure what they want to do. But that was the discussion for September. But now I don't know if that's something they're gonna do.
I mean, the Sanford MMA is serious. They check our temperatures every day before we get in.
Hmm.
But during the training, we cannot wear a mask, man.
No, yeah, it's impossible.
Yeah,
I train here in Henzo Gracie in Brooklyn, and it's just it doesn't matter if BJJ is even more, but even Muay Thai, it's like you can't. I guess Muay Thai you could, and also in BJJ you could in theory, but it's very difficult, man. Very, very difficult.
we sweat each other. Doesn't matter, man.
Yeah, yeah. When you're punching someone in the face, and
Yeah,
just like it all goes out the window. So you're originally from Hungary, right?
yeah, exactly.
And then how long have you been here in the US?
It's already more than 3 years now. Yeah, it's it's pretty fast, man. I feel just like I moved here and I'm already here like 3 years. And when I came here, I couldn't speak English, nothing.
Really?
Yeah, like zero, man.
Wow.
So that was hard for me, but I used to it now. Yeah,
Yeah. Did you take it like do you have an English teacher or just learn?
nothing, nothing.
Wow.
Hang out with the guys. And I have a Hungarian wife, but she is pretty good with the English, so I learn something from her. But I just alive.
Yeah. So what was the journey in Hungary like? What when did you start martial arts? What age?
Oh, so I grew up in a small village. 2,000 people lives there, and I wanted to always start the martial arts, but I didn't have an opportunity. So as soon as when I went high school, I tried the martial arts like Muay Thai, and after the first training, I want to fight, man. I
Yeah.
want to fight, and after I changed my mind, and I just told my father, one day I want to go to the US and show the world how good I am, and it's like American dream for me.
Yeah. It's crazy that when you think of something and then that becomes reality down the road.
It's scary.
It's insane, right? You almost will it into existence. It's like when someone starts a company and then in 10 years after, like you have, I don't know, 10,000 employees or something insane.
I mean, for me, it was like invest, because I invest my own money to the martial arts.
Yeah.
Just move here, live here. It's expensive, man. So what I made with the fighting, I always invest. Just stay here more, be better fighter, and yeah, finally it looks better now.
Yeah, but it's hard, right? Like, there's a lot of fighters that want to make it to the UFC, that want to make it into Bellator, and there's only a limited amount of spots in these, two, and you can say one as well, which is the three big organizations. So only, maybe I don't know, 2,000 fighters, maybe a little bit more. So there's limited spots.
It is, it is, man.
That's why it's like it's so difficult. Like if you're a fighter and you want to be a professional fighter, like how did it start for you in Hungary? Are there like regional fighting organizations, or did you have to go to other countries in Europe?
I mean, we had small shows, but a couple of shows wasn't on the Sherdog, and that time was just only the Sherdog means something. But um, I used to fight in a Croatian organization, a Final Fight Championship.
Yeah.
But I get in like they call me like Monday. You have to fight Friday, and I did. And after I got a contract, so I could fight there, but just for a couple of $100,
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it was like just I was happy for a fighting,
Yeah.
but it was a big show. I remember when I fought in Bosnia, there was like 5,000 people, and it's big in Europe.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
So was that Muay Thai or MMA?
No, it was MMA. When I started, I had a couple of Kempo karate fights, like amateur, like 40 or 50. I just fighting
Yeah.
every week almost. And after I tried the amateur MMA, I finished everybody like in a minute. And after that, I turned a pro. And yeah, I turned pro, I don't know, maybe 2014. Yeah. Yeah.
And then how was that transition coming from, from Hungary, not knowing the language? And I guess what made you decide to go to, so Sanford MMA and Henry Hooft,
Yeah.
like Hard Knocks, is that the same thing?
No, we have a two facility. So we have a new sponsor who they build a fucking nice gym, man. like I telling you, this is a big things in MMA. It's something
Really?
different. Yeah, they take care of about us, and we have a recovery room, really nice gym. So it's something else. I'm telling you, but we don't use anymore the hard knocks too many times. Maybe just private trainings. So we are official in a Sanford. It's a big gym and nice gym. Yeah.
But it's the same crew, right?
Yeah,
Same.
yeah, 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 yeah. I came here first time. I wanted to came to the Black Zillions, but that time when I arrived, the Black Zillions was done.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then why Henry Hooft? Just because maybe he's from
No,
Europe and
it
knew of
was
him?
like it was like crazy. I didn't plan to come here to the US, but 2017, one of my friend he just called me. I going to the US to train. Come with me, and I like I don't have enough money. I was like a massage guy at home, and I have a couple of a guy who helped me to pay a ticket and everything. And after I just came here and I met with Harry, and after the first week, he just told me, "You have to stay here, man." Became a world champion, and I was like, "Okay, but how?" And after two manager phoned me, and they are like, "Okay, we're gonna help you to move here and everything." So they organized everything. So it's like a dream, man. I just came here and they changed my life. That these two managers, man, they are my one of my best friends now, and they really changed my life, man. I will be thankful forever.
Well, and
Yeah.
so they saw the potential.
Yes. Yeah. So I just asked them why you help me, guys. I didn't speak English, nothing, and they just said like they saw the fire in my eye, and they talked with Henry, and they just saw the fire.
That's awesome, man. And how was that transition in the beginning? Was it hard? I mean, culturally, language wise, going into the big shows, being on TV, like how do you make that transition?
Yeah, be honest, I really miss Hungary still every day.
Really?
I
Like what?
really
Like family or the culture, the food, like what?
food. I just feel I just miss the country, more the
You miss the
country.
goulash?
Yeah, I really miss. But since I moved here, I totally changed. I eat like the kid now.
Yeah.
I'm, I'm eating clean always. But I really miss just Hungary, just be home. It's different culture. It's not my language, but I really like my team, and I am just here because of training. Nothing else for me.
Yeah. I grew up on goulash. Like my mom, yeah, she made it all the time because my grandparents were from part Romania, part Hungary.
Oh, Erday maybe.
Yeah.
Erday. Yeah, yeah,
So I ate that, like that was like my favorite dish growing up until I was like 20 or something.
it's really good. The Hungarian food is really good.
Yeah. I also
But
know that.
it
Yeah, go
was
ahead.
crazy, when I came here, and after the first day I sparred with Luke Rockhold, and damn, I just saw him on the TV, and I spar with them now, and but I used to it now, so it's really good, just dreams comes true.
How was it trained? Because I mean, you have a team of killers there. You got like Gilbert, you got what? Usman, you got Michael
Robbie,
Chandler, yeah,
and,
Robbie Lawler, just
and a
killers.
couple of upcoming fighters like Jason Jackson. Logan Sorley in a Bellator welterweight, deep as fuck, man, and
Vicente Luque, I think, right? Yeah,
yeah, our sparring, especially me, I always go hard on the sparring,
yeah.
so it should be a pay-per-view, man. Yeah, telling
I
you,
I remember I saw a video once. Fuck, who was this? I think it was Michael Johnson and
Jason Jackson maybe.
yeah, I can't. No, I think I saw two. I think I saw one that was potentially Michael Johnson and Usman, and I think I saw one that was Rumble and
Ah,
someone else.
oh man,
And it looked
Rumble.
like it was like a fight. It wasn't sparring. It was fucking full on.
We fight, man. Sometimes, yeah, but we love each other. But our sparring, it's different than
Yeah,
somewhere else.
yeah.
I mean, sometimes I spar. I not too many times, but when I spar with Rumble, man, his jab is like, I don't know, like a truck, man, or train, man. Oh my God, he's so strong, man.
It's insane, right? He touches people and they go to sleep.
Yeah, and he's so quick, man. But boom, boom, boom. It's he's tough, man.
Yeah. You don't. Sometimes it's funny because you don't expect the big guys to be fast.
Yeah, but he is, man. Yeah, he is definitely.
You think he's gonna come back?
Yeah, he gonna come back.
I wonder who's gonna fight. Who could he fight it? Will he go back to 205 or heavyweight?
No, 205, I think
205, huh?
it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, man. I mean, now especially if there's no John Jones, there's no Daniel Cormier. I mean, he could
But
easily be champion. I mean, not easily, but he could
yeah,
potentially.
yeah, I think for me the best lightweight now, it's Alexander Rakic, a light heavyweight. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
He fought just the last week. He's my guy. We fought at the same event when I was. It was just my second pro fight. I really know him. He's really good.
yeah. He's what, from Serbia, right? I think.
Yeah, but he is living in Austria.
Okay. I don't understand. Like, that fight drove me crazy. Like, why are you on top of him? Just get up, keep chopping the legs. Like, he
Yeah,
could have had a knockout in the second. I think.
yeah, but his last fight was a last, so I think he just wanted to win, make sure back to the track. Like my last fight was the same. I just wanted to win, get the win, and it's not easy, especially if the guy is undefeated, and after you get your first loss, you want to just come back and winning again.
Yeah. I mean, that was not the fight that you had now, but the fight before that. That was your first loss to Darian Caldwell, right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, I know it sucks, but what was that feeling like?
Sucks. I, I telling you, that was my best shape. I had a 14 weeks training camp. I was like in shape, and I couldn't show nothing. Yeah, but I was just crying. We had a plan with my wife, win this tournament, and be honest, I lost the focus about Calder. I was already looking for a fight against AJ McKee. I
Yeah.
was pretty sure I will win that tournament, but it's a learning lesson forever.
Yeah. I mean, so you weren't looking at the fight, you were looking past the fight, right?
Yes. Yeah, I was too confident, and everybody called me $1 million kid in a gym. If sometimes Russian events come to visit us, and he's like, "Hey, what's up, kid? You're $1 million kid," and everybody was pretty sure I will win that tournament, but it is what is it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's, I mean, I know it sucks, but in hindsight, sometimes you learn from that, right? It's like
Yeah,
good.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. It just makes me stronger. Yeah.
Would you want that rematch?
Oh, I would love to do it, but
Yeah.
he doesn't want that fight. He cannot win nothing with that fight, so I understand him.
Yeah. They probably, I mean, you never know down the line, how things
Yeah,
people lose.
Special now.
You never
You
know,
never
man.
know.
Like, someone drops out, someone like
Yeah,
gets COVID last minute.
yeah, yeah.
Would you take a last minute fight?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know some guys, they don't want to do that because they have to, like, they have a play. Like John Jones, he never takes like short notice fights.
When I'm here in Florida, I'm always in shape, so I can make it. But not in 145, 55. I can do 55 tomorrow, so
Really?
it's no problem for me.
How much do you usually cut on the week of?
The 15, 16. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
not crazy.
yeah. Not crazy, but yeah, it's pretty hard for me, but I can do it. Like so, I still feel I am small in 55. I could fight in 55, but in 45 I'm really really strong. I think I am one of the strongest in 145.
Really?
Yeah. When I fought against Pico, I felt I'm much stronger. So and he's strong. Everybody's thinking, oh, he's so strong, and I was like, I don't know, he's not.
Is it more fun to shut down? He had a whole hype train behind him, right?
Yeah.
Everyone thought he was going to be the best thing in MMA, and you kind of shut that down with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a crazy fight too because you were losing the first 2 rounds, right? Like he
Yeah,
had you down
yeah. I finished in the second
in the
round.
second, but up to then,
Yeah.
like you were kind of like you were having some problems on the floor, and then you got up and just you
Yeah.
did a Masvidal on him,
Yeah,
and
yeah. He stole my movement. I did.
he did that move.
Yeah. No, I was like, I just saved my energy because I heard he was breathing so hard. So my plan was like, I'm gonna finish this guy in the third round, because I was fresh, but the opportunity was there. So yeah.
But was that more? Did you appreciate it more, like knowing that all right, everyone was because you were probably an underdog in that fight.
Yeah. A couple of Hungarian won a lot of money, man. Really, they sent me and wow,
Really?
give me my percent, man.
Well, what were the odds? Do you remember?
Like 3 point something, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, and then that's just crazy. I was 12 and at that time, and he was like 4 and 3 or 4 and 2. Yeah, four
And
and
two,
two.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
damn, huh?
I mean, like I said, he's got that hype train behind him. He's what? Like he's I don't know how he's very credentialed wrestler, and
Man,
he trains
he,
with TJ Dillashaw, and you know,
he's a great fighter, man. Yeah, I think it's just MMA. It's different. My wrestling coach always telling me he was a super good wrestler, like really one of the best on the world. And when that's why I'm like, oh, Pico take you down easy. And like, of course, man, he's one of the best wrestler on the world, but he couldn't do a damage on me, man. I didn't get a ground and pound, nothing. I was
yeah.
everything, my face.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't always translate, or if it does, it takes time. Like if the first um, Cejudo fight versus DJ, right? Like
Yeah,
he wasn't really able to take him down. Got a knee in the solar plex, fell down. Ben Askren, he didn't do too well in the UFC either. So you have to put everything together. You have to be a complete martial artist. Being just a wrestler is just like it's not enough in MMA.
yeah, but Pico has a good hands also. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But I don't know. I feel like Bellator maybe they did kind of what one did with what's that guy's name, Sage Northcutt, where
yeah.
they put him in with I think killers, maybe just a little bit too fast. He's a young kid.
Look, who was a killer against him except me? Nobody. Nobody. He just got his first fight was against a guy, I don't know. He was just like a normal guy, not a killer. And
Yeah,
and Henry Corrales, I mean, I would love to fight against that guy, but he's not. He never was a world champion. I fought already Pat Curran, who was a former champion. So I think it is just a life, shit happens. So I cannot say that he fought against the killers except me. I was a killer that time, like undefeated, 12 and hungry. I was a killer, of course. I didn't understand why he took that fight. They just called me because nobody took the fight against Pico except me.
really.
So yeah, it's hard if nobody wants to fight against you, And after I accept the fight, of course, I was happy. And, oh, finally I can fight. Doesn't matter who. But he never fought against a really really tough guys. Like Sage. I think he fought much more killers than Pico.
Yeah, yeah. He's yeah, they put him with some, I mean, I wouldn't say the top guys, but they put him with some good guys in the UFC. And
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
he also fluctuates weight-wise, like
Yeah, but if you see Pico way, he lost his first fight after he got like three shitty guys, like the guys who weigh in like 141 in 150, 145. The guy
yeah,
maybe doesn't cut weight or nothing,
yeah.
so they just fit him. So
I wonder if he can make 135.
yeah, I was like, after when I knocked him out, because I really feel bad.
Yeah.
Him, he was crying and everything, and he's such a nice guy. He's a hard worker, so that's why I really like him. And I just thought there, like, I think he could be a beast in 135.
Yeah. It's weird, right? Because on the one hand, you have guys that are cutting down, and I mean, sometimes they see uh results, but I feel like for the most part, the guys going up see more results nowadays.
Look,
Like the guy,
Gilbert. Look, Gilbert.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's that's a tricky one for you guys, right? How's the feeling about that in the gym?
especially me. It's really hard. Gilbert just asked me go with him to the corner in Abu Dhabi, and I was like, I really love you, bro. We train a lot together during the quarantine, but I love Usman too, so
Yeah,
I cannot do this. I love both of them. Especially me, Usman is really, really special guy for me. He just call me always before my fights. He really believes me, and he's very close to me. And Gilbert also. We train a lot, so I didn't want to see that fight.
it's a tough one.
Yeah, but I don't want to see never.
You're not gonna look. You're not gonna watch that fight.
I don't know, man. Maybe not. Maybe just after a couple of days.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough one. Obviously because I mean I don't know how friendly they are, but I'm assuming they're somewhat friendly. I don't know if they're like friends, but same
No,
gym.
yeah, and I just rewatched the Ultimate Fighter show, and when Usman won that, he was in Gilbert's neck.
Yeah,
Gilbert was like, yeah. So it's weird, man. I wish they can make good money, both of them, but for me, I love both of them, so I don't want
yeah,
to see that fight.
yeah. Is it? Can it go? Do you think it can potentially go the route just like kind of like how Masvidal and fuck, what's his name? The other guy, the guy who's fighting Woodley now, Colby Covington. They were friends once, and then it became kind of nasty, and now they're kind of enemies. Do you
I
think
don't
that
think
could
so.
potentially happen, or they'll keep it professional? And
Yeah, they are like really really professional. So I think so they can make it like just okay. Let's go to work, and that's it.
yeah, I wish. I don't know. I think Usman takes it. I don't see. Even though Gilbert's a killer, like he impressed me. Like he really impressed me with the Woodley fight. He looked like he could go 10 rounds. It was
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But Usman also they are a machine, man. I always like when I see Usman on the training, he never show he's tired, and Gilbert also.
Yeah.
So they are really professional.
And that's the thing, right? He went up from 55 to 70,
Yeah,
and now he's just a killer.
he's huge, man. I
What
never
is he,
understand
like
how
200?
he could make a 55. Phew.
Brazilians are built differently, man. I don't know. Brazilians are like they're just so athletic. I was in Brazil like 12 years ago, and I didn't know much about MMA back then. No, maybe more than 12, 13 years. And just the guys, like I remember they would do like a capoeira outside of like the guest house where I was staying, and I was like, God damn! Like they were jumping like 7 feet up in the sky, doing all these
Yeah,
tricks, like super, super athletic.
super athletic and yeah. But both of them, like you look Usman how he looks like.
Oh, he's a beast. He's
Yeah,
like, yeah, you see, like they both, if you look at Woodley at 170, he looks jacked, right? Like the guy's so strong, and they both made him look like he was not in the right weight class.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a different breed in Hard Knocks. I don't know what you guys do there. So, like,
We just train so hard, man. I think we have the best gym. Yeah,
it's definitely
such a
up.
killers are there.
Yeah, it's definitely one, and that's the thing. Like, I think like they're kind of like there's almost less and less of these gyms because so many of these top fighters are congregating in these massive gyms, right? You got AKA, you got Hard Knocks. What is it? A few of the big ones. There's a few big ones that more and more people are just going to, and it's almost like
Yeah,
you kind of know the fighters that you're already fighting because you're training with them. Like
yeah,
I see this happening a lot.
yeah, 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 yeah. And yeah, we are really coming up. Yeah, in Bellator, UFC. Look, we are in the one FC also. Angla Song, double champ. He's a man. He is a national hero, man. I
Really?
think he's bigger in Myanmar than Cristiano Ronaldo in Portuguese.
Really?
Really, man. If he goes there, man, people are crazy. That's
King?
Yeah, yeah. He's a king. He's a hero, man. He's a national hero. It's incredible when he goes to Myanmar. Harry always telling me that's crazy, man.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, you see this, like, that's the thing. That's the difference. Like, if you make it in, let's say, France or I don't know, Spain, or take any country, you're only known in that country. But if you make it in the US, you're known worldwide, right? Like, you automatically become a superstar in your country and
Yeah,
sometimes even in the US. So it's like, is that something that, like, now in Hungary, because of you, maybe like the sport is becoming more popular?
yeah,
You
yeah,
have
definitely.
traction?
Especially after I knock him out, Pico.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know how can I say, but that after the next day in the Google, I was the most famous.
Oh, really? More
Yeah, yeah,
searched guy. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Adam Boric was the most. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
crazy. And everybody always asking me when you go to the UFC because in Hungary UFC must and everywhere UFC is much more popular than the Bellator.
Yeah.
But it depends about who pays more.
Hey, man, you're a prize fighter. You have to go where the
Yeah,
money is.
yeah, 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 yeah. I am here. I did a lot of sacrifice, so I have to make money.
Are you the only fighter from Hungary in UFC or Bellator?
One time we had a fighter in a UFC, woman fighter,
Okay.
but unfortunately she lost 2 times, I think. So yeah, but I am the popular guy, only me. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, are you seeing maybe gyms in that area in Hungary and other countries in that area maybe starting to pop up now, maybe becoming more popular? Because I know a few years ago, I know there's a few countries obviously that it's very popular. Netherlands kickboxing has always been
Yeah.
very popular, and there's a few other countries, but I think MMA has only caught on recently in a lot of those countries.
I think in Europe you cannot make a gym like here, like only professional fighters, because in our gym only professional fighters, no amateur class, nothing. And in Europe you cannot do that. Yeah, but I really believe that I will change, and I already changed the Hungarian MMA. And I have a lot of connections, so maybe if we find a really talented guy, I can bring him here. So his way it's gonna be much easier than mine.
Yeah,
So because I am living here, I rent an apartment, I can give him a bed and everything. So I will do this. So I gonna have a couple of young guy, and I already support a couple of guys in Hungary. Yeah, but it's gonna be good. I have a big plans.
good, man.
Yeah,
Do you see Bellator ever doing an event in Hungary?
they did
Oh,
two
they did.
times already. I was there, and
Okay,
I'm pretty sure if they are making now, it's gonna be full house, like 10 or 15,000 people for sure.
really.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would like to be like Conor in Ireland.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I mean, my dream was like always when I was kid. We had a couple of good famous boxers in Hungary, and they were a superstar. The most famous guys in Hungary that time, that boxer was, and so the Hungarian people love the fighting. So they are waiting just for that. If I go to the UFC one day, who knows? It's gonna be different.
yeah. I mean, Connor is an enigma. He's a unicorn. He had like a mix of so many different things happen. Like he's this charismatic guy. He's a good trash talker, and he's also a very very good fighter. And he had a country behind him. It was just this perfect storm of things that made him so popular.
Yeah, and Conor is different. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, he's different. I am totally different person than him. I am not a trash talker. I am a good kid.
Yeah. And I think that's important to because I feel like Connor kind of paved the way for some people to. There's a lot of copycats, people that are.
Yeah,
This isn't who they are, but they're trying to act like him because they think this is what's going to make them successful. And sometimes it works, but I just think that if you're not authentic, if you're not who
yeah,
you
yeah,
truly who you are, people are going to see through it. It's not going to sell as well.
yeah. I think the same, man. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's good, man. You have to stay who you are. Don't sell
yeah,
out and
exactly.
don't try to act. It's not
Yeah, yeah,
WWE.
yeah, yeah. Don't be an asshole if you are not.
Yeah. If you're an asshole, be the biggest
Yeah,
asshole.
yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, after that loss to Darian Caldwell, is it hard to I guess the question is it harder to come back after a loss, like mentally, or is it harder to maybe stay undefeated? And that's also a lot of pressure, right? Because you're always like, oh, I can't lose, I can't lose. But then maybe after that first loss, it's like, okay, shit, I lost. It's not the end of the world, and that pressure's off your shoulders when you come back.
I think for me it was much more harder to come back in mentally because you know I didn't feel like that pressure when I am undefeated. I felt used to when I was younger. Oh, I cannot lose because I am undefeated. I have to stay in undefeated. But it just it for me it was like really hard to come back because I lost when I was amateur like 2011 maybe last time. So I really didn't used to that feeling. So
Yeah.
that was hard for me. Yeah, it was really tough because we just lost our dreams, about this tournament, about that money, and I telling you, I did a big mistake because I remember I had an interview before when I fought Pat Curran, and they asked me like, which one is more important, the money or the bet? And I said bet, but when they asked me before Caldwell, I was like, oh, I need that money. So
Yeah.
that time I was focused more on the money. So I lose little bit my mind, but that shit is uh, brought me back to the right way.
So what do you think is what's the path now? If you in your mind, like how many fights do you think you have to fight before they give you a belt opportunity?
I really hope uh, I have two more fights in my contract, and I wanna do it like until March or something next year. And after, I would love to get the title shot because I already beat a former champ, and I have like I don't know 5 wins or 6 wins in the Bellator. I don't know how many, and only one lost. And so I'm gonna fight against the tough guys, but not too many people available to fight now because the COVID. So it's hard, man. I don't know. I just happy. I'm really thankful for the Bellator. They give me that opportunity. So because this time to make money, it's really hard. And I was so happy, man. I just told them like doesn't matter. The guy missed weight like 4 pounds. I don't care. I just want to fight, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, what it was 5? He missed 5 pounds, right? Something like that.
yeah. He was a 55, and
Yeah.
it was a 150 weight class.
Yeah. Yeah. He was a big guy, but. I mean, are Bellator not putting on? Because I know the UFC they have like events lined up for weeks, like or months, like almost every weekend now. Bellator, they're not putting on as much.
They have a shows. I think they are planning every 2 weeks, but they don't uh, post about too much,
Yeah.
so they don't say nothing forward. Just okay, we have an event in 2 weeks. That's it.
Yeah, I wish they would, because yeah, it's hard to know. Like you wanna stay updated, and it's hard. Like I don't know, with Bellator, I find it's harder to find out about fights than it is in the UFC. They don't post as much unless it's the big ones, unless it's the big names.
And in this situation, I think it's hard to organize everything because maybe one state's closed, one it's and somebody tests positive. It's oh man, I think it's really hard to organize now.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I mean, it kind of sucks now that, especially like there was a fight this weekend that was supposed to happen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kudileba, I think, and he last minute they
How
canceled
can
the fight.
you get that virus in quarantine, man? So I be honest, I really don't believe that test and
You
everything
don't believe the tests? Why?
because the guys was negative in a whole week,
Yeah,
and the last day he tested positive, but he was just in quarantine, man. And especially in our team, a couple of people tested positive, and nobody has a symptom, not system, sorry.
yeah,
And
symptoms.
and Harry tested 20 times negative. Our head coach, man.
Yeah.
So how the fuck is
I mean, look, it can happen. I don't know. You go, you
I
touch
mean, it's
something.
okay, man. If you get the COVID, it's okay, but we are going to fight there. We don't care about the virus. We're going there to fight the much more scary things.
Yeah, but you
Let
don't
us
want.
fight. Let us fight, man.
But what happens is if one guy, let's say Kudileba, he has it, and then he goes, and then all the people in the chain up leading up to the fight, and then the fighter itself, and then that fighter, if he gets it, everyone that he's around gets, and then it's spreads and spreads and spreads. So they just plus like I feel like if they do allow it, like they're just gonna like no one's gonna allow, no state is gonna allow them to put on a performance.
Weird, man. I will just pass this over.
Dude, man, this year, basically the whole world changed. I think globally we haven't seen something like this since World War II, where
Yeah, 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 definitely.
something this crazy that it's happening to everyone. This isn't like one nation. This is globally to everyone.
Yeah, it's I don't. I mean, I don't know. I hate this shit, man. Like, really, I
Oh.
just wake up and like, oh, man, still.
Yeah, I mean, I know Florida was hit pretty bad. Still,
A lot of cases, because we test a lot. So,
yeah.
but I really don't know nobody who was really sick.
Oh, really?
I don't know nobody, man. Just
I know, I know so many people.
I just know of people who tested positive, but I don't know the people who are like, oh man, I have a sick and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I had it in like March, and I was out for a week. Like it was like it was like a bad flu. Like
Yeah,
couldn't
but
get out of
okay.
bed.
For me, hey, I had the flu when I was kid a couple of times, so
Yeah,
and I wasn't scared about like, okay, I had a fever and everything. It's okay. I drink a
yeah.
tea, ginger tea, and I will be fine.
Some goulash and all
Yeah,
good.
yeah, some goulash.
Yeah, I mean, I think for if you're young and healthy, you'll be okay. I think it's like if you're older, or maybe if you have some pre-existing condition, maybe you're like obese or overweight, or maybe you have diabetes or
Yeah,
whatever it
yeah,
is,
yeah.
then you might have a higher chance of something
Yes,
serious
yes,
happening to
exactly.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
those people,
I
those
think,
people need more protection.
yeah, but what you can do, eat healthy, train a little bit, and try to be the most healthy. What can you be?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. So, if I look at the divisions right now, I would say both in Bellator and UFC that 145 and 155 are probably the strongest. I mean, you could argue that 170 as well, but 145 and 155 are just serial killers. They're just all crazy, murderers row. And I always wonder why, because it's across the board and it's in both categories, right? In both organizations. Why do you think like those divisions are the strongest and the deepest?
most guys try. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. The small guys are not really small because
Well, like regular size.
this is the yeah this is the most popular weight class or
Yeah.
yeah, not too many heavyweights, no, not too many people is like 205 or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that's why. And everybody try to cut as much they can, I don't know, man, but it's so deep, yeah, everywhere.
Do you think who would you, if you had to fight, your dream fight, not necessarily in Bellator, in like even in the UFC, like someone in your division in featherweight?
Of course, Conor McGregor, man.
Honor?
Money fight, baby.
Red Penny Night?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I really don't have like dream fight. I really don't care. I just want to be the best. That's
Yeah.
it. I just told
Oh, but
my
do you look up, like, do you look at someone like, let's say, do you look at like Holloway or Volkanovski or I don't know, anyone in the top 5 in the UFC and like I match up very well with them? Like I could easily take them, or not easily, but
not
I could take.
easily, but I think
Yeah,
I would have to fight against Volkanovski. I'll be honest. Like, yeah, I think now on this level, it's not big different. So we are very close, I
yeah,
think, and I think his body type against me, it's really good for me.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's stocky, like charges forward.
yeah. And he's not like his wrestling is not like Caldwell wrestling. His wrestling is like more than Pico,
Yeah.
and I like more that. Yeah, but I just thought yesterday to my coach, I want to be the first guy who holding 2 belts in Bellator and after UFC too. 45, 55, 55, 55.
Well, Chandler is they're saying Chandler could be moving over to UFC now.
Yeah, I hope he can. You know, he
I
he
wonder
earned
who
that.
they would. Yeah, I wonder who would his first fight be in because he would go in 55.
Yeah. He's huge in 55.
Yeah, he's a big guy. I wonder who would they give him like in 50, because it's such a stacked division. It's so log jammed at the top. Like they couldn't give him anyone from the top 5, so they would have to give him somewhere in between like 5 and 10 probably.
Yeah. I think he earned that. He's a legend. He was a face of the Bellator.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you think we'll ever see like a cross promotion type of thing where they give like champion versus champion?
it would be awesome, man. I think, yeah, people are interested about that. So, but I don't think so. It's gonna happen.
I don't think the UFC benefits from it in any way, you know?
Or maybe one day they will buy a Bellator. I don't know, like a Strike Force.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be cool. Like a Bellator doing with the Rising. I think it's great.
Do you like so when you have, something like a fight week, do you like the performance aspect of it, like the standoffs, media day, the all the interviews, creating the hype around the fight? Is that something like that you enjoy, or would you prefer just doing the fights and
Uh, I mean, I don't care about too much. If if I could choose, I just wanted to stay alone and leave me alone. Yeah, but when I have a couple of interviews, it's okay. It's just part of the job. I am little bit like Robbie Lawler. He's like the same.
Yeah, but for you, I think it's the language, right? Like, I feel like the more comfortable you'll be
Yeah,
speaking English, the easier it is to give interviews. Like, do you, if
yeah,
when you give interviews back home, like, is it obviously more comfortable?
yeah, definitely. Sometimes I feel like, oh, how can I say this? Like it's not too easy. But when I have an interview, I feel just loose. I don't care about too much. I try my best, but definitely it's harder. Than
Yeah,
speaking Hungarian.
because like you think in Hungarian, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
think in Hungarian, then it has to come out in English.
Yeah. So I just change always.
Do you
Because,
speak other
because
languages, or
huh?
do you speak other languages?
Little bit Germany, and that's it. But I'm living with my wife who is Hungarian, so we always talking Hungarian. So it's different.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I'm originally from Israel, but here my wife's American and I
Oh
speak
yeah,
English.
makes
Yeah, and
sense.
I speak English all day long,
Yeah,
and I just kind of now to a point where I actually sometimes like in my native tongue I sometimes forget words because I'm speaking English all day long,
yeah,
you know? So it's like it's a
yeah.
little bit of an
Especially
imbalance.
us, we are. When I always saying salmon, not. I forget always Hungarian. How can I say salmon? It's like lazats. So but I always saying salmon when I talk when I speaking Hungarian. I always saying salmon. You know, I want
Yeah.
salmon. Oh man. So I use a couple of words in English when I
Do they
talk
have
Hungarian.
like an Hungarian neighborhood or restaurants where you live or like a community?
They have something, but I don't go there. You know, yeah. When I am here, I feel I am in camp. You know, I'm always eat my shit. You know, I always try to eat clean because I think in the US the food quality is not as good. So I try clean as uh, how I can. You know, like I wanna always eat the organic and everything. And if they are making a Hungarian goulash, it doesn't taste like same at home, and it's different. It's and if you eat the bread here, I feel really bad. You know.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder why. Because I would think like Florida is like pretty fresh, produce. It's like sunny state. They grow a lot of stuff. No?
Not for me. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the food in Europe, I was just in Italy earlier this year and in Japan as well. And the food was just I don't know. So it's different. It's just fresh and like it's not necessarily that it's like I'm eating it fresher from when it was picked or whatever it was, but it just felt
Yeah.
fresh. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Definitely. Yeah. I really understand you. Yeah. This is what I feel every day.
Do you keep to a certain like diet, or do you just because you work out so much and you burn so many calories, you can just eat what you want pretty much throughout camp?
No, I really take care about what I am eating. Yeah, because if I want, I really can go up. You know. So
Yeah,
that's why I keep my weight down. Like Uh, I don't want to go over 170. I keep around 170, between 166 and 170. And but if I eat what I want, I would be like 180 maybe.
yeah. After a few pizzas, 185.
Yeah. And I feel bad when I'm eating bad, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's why
100%.
what I am always telling to the upcoming Hungarian fighters: watch out what you eating. It means a lot, you know.
Yeah. And it's also you're what 20, 26, 27.
27. I turned 27 just right now.
Oh, congratulations, happy birthday. uh when you're in your 20s, like you can pretty much get away with a lot of stuff, but once you're in your 30s, man, I'm in my 30s, that shit doesn't fly anymore, man. You start
Yeah,
to feel like if
yeah.
you drink too much or if you eat crap, like you're feeling it the next day. And in your 20s, I used to go party and work and then wake up at 5 6 in the morning, go to work like it's nothing.
Yeah. But now it's different, right?
Can't do that shit anymore, man. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. It's alive.
Yeah. So you have to like, you have to take care of yourself in the 20s because you start to feel it when you're a little older in your 30s.
Right. And you know, I'm thinking like, you know, I am a professional athlete, so I have to be a professional athlete always when I am eating, when I'm sleeping, when I'm trained. I have to watch out if I wanna be a best.
Yeah. Do you do any like psychological work? Because mindset is an important thing. So I know some guys they work with sports psychologists or they do
I don't
meditation or yoga.
I don't work nobody, but I really take care about, you know, I do a yoga or sometimes I cannot say I do a meditation, but I just prepare my mind to the
Positive
point.
thoughts.
Yeah. So I prepare in my mind too.
That's important, man. Yeah. There was I was watching a documentary the other day about the Special Olympics, and there were people there that have just gone through some of the worst things imaginable. It's unbelievable, right? Just from diseases to wars, and they still manage to become the best athletes in their, in their prime, in their 20s and the 30s. Even after everything they went through, and with the pain, with the horror, with the traumatic experience, and that just kind of solidified in my mind that it's literally all mindset. It's like, if you choose to complain about things and say that you can't do it, then you're not going to be able to do it, unfortunately. And it's hard, right? Like, I'm not saying it's easy. I know it's hard, but the people who manage to push through and say that doesn't matter, the circumstances don't matter, and whatever it takes, I'm going to get and achieve my goals, even if I lose a leg, even if I, whatever it is, those are the people that end up achieving their goals and, getting gold.
I mean, the mind is so strong, man. Yeah, uh,
Strongest muscles.
yeah.
So what's the future? What do you think? Do you think you're going to fight again this year?
Yes, definitely. I wanna maybe probably I'm gonna fight in October or November. You know, I'm gonna be ready. I started my camp in this week, official. So I wanna just get in shape, and if they call me, because I asked them like, hey, I'm thinking about to go to Hungary, but if I have opportunity to fight one more time, I would stay here. And they said they would be happy if I'm stay here, because it's hard now to find the fighters who they are, so because look, nobody wanted to fight me in 145, and
Yeah,
we had to find a new guy, and he got a contract. So yeah,
but there's no opponent right now. It's just potentially a date. Well, they have to give you someone. You're in the top 10. You're ranked what?
and we don't have really official uh, ranking, but I saw unofficial ranking, like maybe five or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you have to get a top guy.
I'm supposed to fight against Campos.
Yeah. Well, dude, man, I'm looking forward to it. I hope you get a fight end of the year, and we can see you fight again. You have a highlight reel that's worth watching. All those flying knees
Yeah,
and just really great stuff. You have exciting style of fighting, so I always enjoy the fight, and I know a lot of fans out there enjoy it as well. And yeah, man, I really appreciate you coming on the podcast. I want
no
to thank you
problem.
so much. Where can people find you on social media?
Um, on Instagram, Adam Boris, and Facebook also, and I have a YouTube channel also. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I'll put all the links in the show notes so everyone can easily find you. And yeah, man, good luck in all your future fights. It was a blast. I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much, man. Take care.